jail booth became a confessional, full of admitted sins, forgiveness, and answered prayers. In the midst of his ramblings about how and why he could do better, I heard myself mumble, "Brother, we need you."
Here we are, we back. Black Man Lab Overflow. We are in Savannah, and we had a time in this historic space, and I am so grateful to have with us these scholars, gentlemen, great brothers who packed it out in Savannah.
Indeed. And it was just incredibly powerful for our second spot on the tour, and we took off like this. I'm at a loss for words.
To be here at St. Philip Monumental A.M.E.
A.M.E.
Such a historic space, sacred space.
It is.
For us to be able to be grounded here was special, and you felt it. You felt the energy. Would you brothers come on up to the mic?
Sure. Absolutely.
I knew Georgia Project Chairman, Brother Dr. Francis Johnson, Chairman. What do you think about this, our second stop? We've been to Athens, now Savannah. What did you feel tonight? And then we're going to bring in two of our brothers here that's rooted and based right here in Savannah.
Well, you know, the history of black people in this part of Georgia, particularly in this church, is just something that has left me in awe tonight. Just the history just bubbling up from the ground and all around in the photographs. We're not far from where the first and oldest African American church exists. This is the oldest A.M.E. church, and so many powerful leaders have come through St. Philip. So it's just extraordinary that we're in Georgia's first city on this first tour outside of our kickoff, and oh, what a night it was.
Indeed, indeed. Definitely. Dear brothers, would you all take a moment, introduce yourselves so the Black Man Lab world knows who helped center us here in Savannah?
I'm Brother Mario Simmons. I actually born and raised right here in Savannah. I'm a product of Savannah. I'm super proud to be here and be a part of this project today. I actually serve as the District Deputy Grand Master for the Savannah 1st Masonic District. Yes, so it was a pleasure to have the brothers from the Prince Hall Masonic Order here.
Y'all came
here.
deep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We came deep.
Yeah, we roll deep. We roll deep. That's how you do. See, you know, we're not just number one for Prince Hall Masonic. Prince Hall brought Masonry to Georgia right here in Savannah.
That's right.
In
That's
the
right.
city. So that's
right.
why we want to make sure that we show up and show out. So the rest of the stops on the city, on the rest of the cities on this tour, they'll know that we're gonna be there. We're gonna show up and we're gonna show out and we're gonna set the bar high. So
absolutely.
let the rest of the tour know.
Oh, no doubt.
Absolutely.
They got to come with it.
And your brothers got to do it everywhere now.
Got to come with it everywhere.
Bro, we're going to send that picture out.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be, y'all done made a challenge.
Yes, sir. That's
a
it.
challenge.
Absolutely.
Rev.
I'm Bernard Clarke. I pastor St. Philip Monumental A.M.E. Church, and certainly we welcome each and every one of you. We've had a wonderful time. And, of course, this is a historical church, and it's a historical night in that Henry McNeil Turner founded this church, and he pastored this church. And so here we are in the oldest church in Georgia. And so we're obligated. We're nonetheless obligated to the cause. We're obligated to everything that happened tonight, not only tonight, but in the future. And, of course, our history literally rests on what happened tonight.
Yes.
So bringing people together, perhaps people of color, but also making sure that we come together with all of the ideologies and those things that are going to make our community a better community. We're just happy to be here and happy to host it tonight.
Well, we are grateful.
Yeah, and let me say on behalf of Black Man Lab, thank you for having us in this space.
Quite welcome.
This historical space, because it meant a lot to us as well to be in the space. But with that, I want to just get you all's opinion about the space that we held tonight and what your thoughts are on that. And how that looks for our future.
To me, it looks great. To me, it's an energy, it's a synergy.
Yes.
It's everything that I believe that we need as a people.
Yes.
And to continue to go on and to continue to flourish, if you will. So what I felt tonight was individuals from all walks of life coming together and not being judged, but coming together and expressing themselves in a way that was beneficial to every one of us that were able to listen and to hear what was said tonight.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Brother
And just to piggyback off of that, we talked about the term safe space tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that this really was a safe space. If you like the young brother said tonight, it's something that, hey, if I don't know and I bring this information out, y'all not gonna jump down my throat and beat me up because I brought misinformation, or you're gonna teach me and you're gonna inform me. And I think that's what the future is gonna require. It's gonna require us reaching out to this generation that wants to know why. Why are we doing this? Why do I have to do it? Why do I need to vote? Why do I have to vote? What is voting going? Like, they asking those questions. Some of us come from a generation. I know I may look a little young, but some of us come from a generation. You do it because they told you to do it.
That's right.
And you ain't gonna question why they told you to do it. But those people we look up to, they tell us to do things. So this generation, we're gonna have to teach this generation why it's necessary in order to keep movements like this moving forward. I think you said the youngest person was 4 and the oldest person was 80. That's a
85.
85.
Yeah.
That's
We
a
went
huge
from
gen-
4 to
4 to
85.
And that influence is only going.
And every voice was heard.
Yeah, every voice.
Yeah.
And we had a brother who said, I drive trucks.
Yep.
And a brother who says, I started a hedge fund.
Yeah.
In the same space.
Right.
With the same voice, with the same love and power. And that's what Black Man Lab is about. And that's why it was so important that the New Georgia Project really power this across the state, because it's authentic, right? And we don't have to make up something and say, hey, let's get black guys together so we can talk about voting. No. Let's just get brothers together in the Black Man Lab, and then voting is a part of the conversation.
Part of the conversation.
But so much of it is about love. Talk about, Chairman, what you envision this tour to be and what you felt in the room tonight. This is our second stop. What was the energy like tonight?
Well, it's, I think you said it best. It's authentic. Black Man Lab organizes 365 days, 366 days. It's a leap year. And this is not an election gimmick. Nobody's staging this. And we build power among black people. Our motto is we build power unashamedly, unapologetically for our people, black power. And so this is a perfect synergy. And when you think about it, in that room between the 4 and the 80-year-old was the full segmentation of the black vote. You had the traditional civil rights legacy voters. You had the Gen Z traditionalists. You had the rightfully cynical. You had those folks who are conservative, and you're not going to change that about them. But they came with ears to listen about what's at stake in this election. And you also had folks who, have checked out completely. Those are rightfully cynical, who said, wait a minute, I feel like I'm being invited into a conversation, not about red versus blue or even Harris versus Trump, but I'm being invited into a conversation about my future and what it looks like. And I think that's what this tour, that's the ontological possibilities of what we're capable of in this tour, that people can see themselves and the value, not just of their vote, but of their active engagement in their communities. And lives are going to change because of this.
Indeed, indeed. We are coming to the close of this segment, but we want you brothers, we always talk about habits, rituals, and disciplines, right? As men, right? We what people see, what our lives are, how we move in the world is really a result of what are our habits, what are our rituals, what is our discipline, what is that? Would y'all just share with all of the black brothers and sisters and whoever might be watching this? Some might be on the other side of the walls. We reaching to them, and we're hoping that y'all could speak a word to them about something that keeps you going, keeps you motivated, lifts you up on a daily basis or a weekly basis that you do that you think is valuable for us as black men to consider.
I'll let you start.
Well, again, let me acknowledge the fact that we have marching orders, if you will, from our presiding prelate, Michael L. Mitchell,
Yes.
And of course our supervisor, Cordelia Mitchell. In order, those marching orders are for us to continue to build people. I'm also a 33-year veteran of a school teacher.
Yes.
And so I do that every day. On the weekends, of course, and perhaps every day. Of course, I'm a pastor also. So I've committed myself to making sure that I make each day better for somebody. Yes. And so that's a commitment that I had. I want to also make note that tonight There was no one raging to leave. There's still people down there. There was no one in a hurry to leave because of what you guys have brought to us, and we shall never forget it.
On a big old Tuesday night.
Big old Tuesday night.
Big old Tuesday.
Big old Tuesday, where people come in with excuses for not even going to Bible study, but here they are. So again, I want to commend you guys on a wonderful night.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
A big thing for me, I mean, of course, prayer is definitely.
Yes.
I try not to start the day without that, but also understanding that mental health matters. I think that's something that's not talked about enough in the Black community. And it's something that people carry shame about. But being able to talk to a therapist and being able to, express how you feel. One of the biggest things for me, and just sharing my own journey, is operating in so many spaces, having a code switch between being this person in this space and this person in another space. It's very difficult. And me being a younger leader, it's one of those things that people already judge you because, he ain't old enough to be this, so he not. Right. And how much does he know? I mean, my educational background goes quite far, but I don't brag on what I do.
Come on.
So it's one of those things for me is trying. So it's one of those things for me is to just try to always keep myself centered and grounded, and just remember whose I am, and remember what my purpose is here. So that's one thing I always challenge people on, and that's my ritual is when I meet people is to get them to understand what their purpose is. Why are they here? Why did God put them on this earth? And just to be a vessel. And so that's a big piece for me.
Indeed. Brother Marty, we're gonna wrap them up.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right.
Brothers, repeat after me. I'm a link in this chain.
I'm a link in this chain.
And it won't break here.
And it won't break here.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Very good.
Amen. Ashe. Thank y'all.
The jail booth became a confessional, full of admitted sins, forgiveness, and answered prayers. In the midst of his ramblings about how and why he could do better, I heard myself mumble, "Brother, we need you."